Hi, I'm Jennifer Lynch. I'm the Manager of Professional Services here at the BC Real Estate Association. Welcome to another video in BCREA's tutorial series on listing contracts. In this video, we take a closer look at the dates in the listing contracts. There are 3 dates that must be inserted into the listing contracts. 1. The effective date of the contract. 2. The expiry date of the contract. And 3. The date the contract is signed, sealed, and delivered. The effective date of the listing is the date the term of the listing will begin. Usually, the effective date is the same date the contract is signed, sealed, and delivered. If the listing contract is being prepared in advance of the day the seller is to sign it, the designated agent should ensure that the effective date inserted corresponds to the date that the contract is signed, sealed, and delivered. In some circumstances, the listing contract is signed, sealed, and delivered, but doesn't take effect until a date in the future. For example, if the parties sign the contract for a listing that is to begin in the future, the effective date inserted into Section 1A could be January 1st, while the date the contract was signed, sealed, and delivered could be December 18th. The date the contract will expire is inserted into the appropriate place in the contract. The duration or term of the listing is negotiable, so it's important that all parties agree to the length of the listing. For properties being listed on the MLS system, a real estate board's MLS rules may have minimal listing period requirements. Make sure the duration of any listing contracts you enter into conform to your real estate board's rules. The date the contract is signed, sealed, and delivered is inserted on page 3 of the exclusive listing contract or page 5 of the multiple listing contract and should be the date the last party signs the contract. For example, if the parties sign the contract at different times than the date the contract is signed, sealed, and delivered, must not be inserted until the last party signs. If one party signs the contract in advance of the other, then the date should be left blank until the date that all parties have signed the contract. The contract cannot be submitted to the MLS until it's signed by all parties. A designated agent obviously runs a risk if they carry out any marketing activities for the property before the seller has signed, sealed, and delivered the contract, as the seller may not agree to enter into the contract, and the designated agent may have incurred costs that it cannot recover. Realtors must always work in their client's best interests. That's why it's important that you fully understand all aspects of the listing contracts and can explain them to your clients. Clients are better protected when they understand their rights and obligations. Be sure to check out the other videos in this tutorial series on listing contracts, including videos on the different types of listing contracts, negotiating terms, termination of a contract, the remuneration and holdover clause, and the Schedule A. Thank you for watching, and for more information on listing contracts and other standard forms resources, go to bcrea.bc.ca/listing contracts.